few months ago at an Asian fusion restaurant, I had this beautiful tofu, duck and kimchi dish. It sounds a little bit weird, but the flavours really work, especially if you're a lover of tofu. So to start with, we need to get our duck on. So I've got 2 Peking duck legs and we just want to place them in the oven. I've preheated my oven to 180 degrees and we want to cook these for about 15 minutes and then allow them to cool down completely so we can shred the meat. So into a tray here and into the oven. So while the duck's being cooked, we can get on to the other elements of this dish. First of all, a really quick dressing. So I'm just going to place it all in a jug to make life a lot easier. I've got 2 tablespoons of caster sugar, along with 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and this is less salt soy sauce here. I want a little bit of acidity here, so some fresh lime juice is best, and we want to squeeze as much of the juice out as possible. So I'll use my nifty juicer here, and that goes straight in there. Sesame oil, one of my faves. We've got about a teaspoon of that, along with some Jiaoxing wine. I've got 2 tablespoons of Jiaoxing wine. So this is a really light vinaigrette, and what we're going to do is just dress it at the last minute to go with the kimchi and that tofu. So let's put that to the side so that element is ready to go. And while the duck's cooking, we might as well finish this off. So the kimchi, I've got half a cup of kimchi, and if you haven't used kimchi before, well, the first time you smell it, it is very, very strong. It's very intense. You can smell the garlic, you can smell the cabbage. It's fermented cabbage that has chili in it and garlic, but the flavour is really interesting and it goes with quite a lot of things. I'm going to place that straight onto our chopping board and just really roughly chop it. This is going to be mixed with our Peking duck legs along with some water chestnut. So really interesting flavours here, really bold flavours, but trust me, they all work in harmony at the end. So once that's chopped, we're going to place that into a medium bowl with the water chestnuts. Now, water chestnuts, they usually come in a can, and I'm using about half a small can here. And what I'm going to do is just, again, roughly chop them. So just gather them and just run the knife through it once or twice. Into our bowl again. So all we need to do now is wait for our duck to cook, and it's as simple as shredding the meat, tossing it through this mixture, and then we can bring this all together. It's a really simple dish, but it is seriously delicious. So the duck has been shredded and we simply mix that together, making sure it's evenly distributed. And what I like to do is just moisten it a little bit with our dressing. So about a tablespoon of that can go straight in and give that another mix. It smells so good. So how I like to present this is simply straight on top of our tofu block here, the silken tofu. And you want to be generous with it. So put a big mound of our kimchi, water chestnut and our duck mixture. 1 more spoonful. It's okay if it just falls on the sides. And I've got some crunchy shallots here. So again, you can get these in all your supermarkets, and we're just going to put a good amount on top there. So you can imagine what this is like. You've got the kimchi there with the duck and then really soft silken tofu. Just is really, really delicious. Okay, coriander on top. And last but not least, we get our dressing, which is really light, so you can be quite generous with it. And I've got a plate here that's just slightly shallow, so we can make a pool of this dressing around the side like this. Yum. This is so good. This is a sharing platter. So if you're sort of doing an Asian banquet at home, this is a fantastic way to start it. When you dig into that, you make sure you get all those elements and make sure you get a good spoonful of that beautiful lime dressing.